they see that there's some kind of opportunity in that. There's some kind of unity in that. It brings people together. You know, both of them have a good point, but then there's a whole different. There's a whole another realm of music where we're at right now. Okay, and it says the other finds an idiot's metronome, an unceasing racket that makes no more artistic sense than drawing on graph paper. If you ever drew on graph paper, what is it? It's graph paper is basically drawing on the grid, man. So you're talking about that loop based music, that trap music. It traps your mind. It puts your mind on a grid. You know, where one side finds ultimate musical bliss in the architecture of large form, those classical guys. The other complains of a feat over intellectualization. So, you know, some people say that those classical guys, man, they snobs, you know. They're intellectualizing music and making it snobby. All right, they both got a good point. But I push forth that music nowadays is a whole nother thing now. It's a whole nother thing. It's part of Esau's weapon, man. Is very much so part of Esau's sword, man. I'm gonna finish this paragraph out. As Western pop music floods the world with its drum machines and giant bass speakers in tow, the advantage is now with those who celebrate meter, usually in a trivial form. All right, you know, so you know basically saying the formulaic music has basically one out. Okay, enthusiasts of phrase and form, or just of an old-fashioned melody, are often to be found cowering with fingers and ears, their sole consolation in reflecting upon a tradition that has lasted centuries and survived greater assaults. This battle is far from over, and that kind of puts me in that category. You know, I'm cool for that formulaic type of music, but it has gotten to a point to where hey, they have, just like Esau does everything. I see they've crackified it, meaning they boiled it down to its essence, man. You know, to where there's no variation in the music. There's no in the frequencies the in anything. You know, it's crack now. You know, so for the most part, there are some different, uh, you know, what am I trying to say? There are some exceptions to the rule, of course. But Salakia, didn't want to be too long-winded on that, man. Grab some scriptures. Um, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this scripture here. Came to mind, Ezekiel 4 and verse 13. It reads, "And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel," and by the way, it's Yashar Allah in the Hebrew, Yashar Allah. All right. "Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." So the Lord drove us into Babylon the Great, America, because of our disobedience. And here we shall eat defiled bread, man. There's a thing called the secret covenant where, the powers that be It's basically like their whole constitution of how they plan to oppress the masses and basically enslave the masses. Which we know in the end, this devil, he's going to want to put a digital tracker inside of you. You know, a C-hip inside of you. All right, a charagma in the Hebrew. A mark inside of you. Pursuant to Revelation 13, 15, and 16. All right. So, um, you know, uh, in doing so and pushing us toward that, trying to push us toward that, toward that end of complete control and slavery, um, this devil is going to defile everything, man. Literally our bread, our food. But if you go into the word bread, it's lacham, and good and get it real quick. It's lacham, and it says, it speaks of just, well, it says food. It says food. It says especially bread, grain, bread, eat, food, fruit, loaf, meat, victuals. Okay. So the scriptures also speak of man shall not live by bread alone, right? But by every word that, let's grab that real quick. Okay, this is Luke 4:4, and Yahushua answered him, saying, "It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High." So this gospel is likened to to food. Food for the spirit, man. Food for the soul. It gives life. Okay, and it's also likened to a song. Okay, and when we were in captivity, when we were in a physical captivity and slavery under Esau, Edom, back in those days, those slave days, and we would do what to get us through the day? We would sing Negro spirituals, man. This would keep our spirits up so that we can see another day, you know. Hey, so what does this devil do, man? He defiles our bread, which can go into our music. Music is used to keep the spirit right, man. So what does he do? He controls the frequencies. He strips out certain frequencies through his digitization, his computer, his science and technology and shit, his algorithm. You know, and he pushed a whole industry of MIDI controllers, man. Which basically just, they're just buttons, they're just triggers that help to reproduce a sound, man. And so now everybody makes their music in the box, you know. There's certain people that do, use actual instruments. I believe that is also, but at the end of the day, it's all going through a computer somehow, and you know, don't put it past this devil to strip out certain frequencies, man. You know, using his digital audio workstations. Certain frequencies are tinkered, certain tones are stripped out. You know, especially in certain genres of music. You know. So yeah, I don't put shit past this damn devil, man. Not at all. I mean, why wouldn't he? His whole MO is to oppress, the Israelites, man. Really, to oppress every damn body, even his own self. But more more directly and more angrily, I guess, because Esau's anger, as we brought out, it was perpetual. It was forever toward the Israelites. His devil has a lot that he's going to have to pay for, man. And we bring this out constantly, and they walk by as if, they don't hear it. But, I mean, what can they do? These, what's that? The cup shall be passed unto you, Esau, Edom, and you shall surely drink of it. This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 12. Slack in verse 12. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? So we drank that cup, slavery, captivity under the Edomites, the so-called white man. It says, thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. And you're going to drink a double cup of that, man. See if we can grab that real quick. So Revelation 18 and 6. This is speaking of that whore that rides the beast back, America. Okay? Revelation 18 and verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven. What a part of her sins, man. This, abominable music that pushes upon the masses of the people, and more specifically the Israelites. All right? As a weapon. All right? And the Most High hath remembered her iniquity. So the Lord sees all your wickedness. All right? America, Babylon the Great, ran by the Edomites. Verse 6, 18 and 6, Revelation. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double, so she gonna get double. It's gonna be a bad captivity. When you go into slavery, as the scriptures say, Esau, when you go into slavery, man, he who leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And when you go into that captivity, it's going to be double of what we had to do in our captivity. That was pretty bad, man. Pretty damn bad. But y'all gonna get it double. Except on those high holy days where you can finally, y'all gonna look forward to the high holy days, man. The Sabbaths. Okay. Hey, so just, Lord willing, that was edifying. Esau Edom uses this music, and not to put it lightly, man, this music is weaponized. Like, this music is a big deal, man. It's a big deal. And not to cast judgment on any brother that may deal with some of this new age music, It's just me personally. Again, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rachach, Shalom.